Hey guys, it's Stef and thank you so much for joining me once again. I would like to start this video off by apologizing for my lack of videos the last week and a half or so. I've been really busy doing business related stuff, getting my website all set up, and it's just been very time consuming, and that's why I've been slacking on all of my channels a little bit. But I wanted to make at least one video for you guys to give you something to have at least for the week. So with that being said, let's get started on this video. In my last video, I told you guys all about the different places where you could go exchange your money here in Peru. If you have not already watched that video, then be sure to click on the video up here so that you can watch that. In case you do not want to wait until you come to Peru to exchange your money and you want to do that before you arrive, then you might have the possibility of doing that in your country of residence. Especially if you live in a major city, a big city that is very accustomed to receiving all types of currencies, such as New York or London. But if you live in a smaller city, smaller town, then that might not be so easy to come by. So maybe your first option to be able to exchange money in order to get Peruvian currency is when you first arrive in the airport here. But like I said, if you want to exchange it beforehand, then you might have that option if you live in a major city abroad. What I want to talk about in this video is some problems that you may encounter when you want to exchange money here in Peru. So in my last video, I mentioned that you will probably be able to exchange virtually any currency in Peru. So if you have like Indian rupees or British pounds or maybe Israeli shekels, then you should be able to exchange that somewhere here, especially in the places that have a lot of tourism or in the center. But it's always best for you to try to carry some dollars with you or euros, because those are the most widely accepted forms of foreign currency. So it's best for you to try to always carry some of those kinds of bills with you just in case. When you do come to Peru and you want to exchange your foreign currency for Peruvian Nuevo Soles, you have to be really careful about the types of bills that you bring, because sometimes your bills will be rejected if they have the following things. So if your bills are torn, if they have tape on them, if they're written on, then more than likely no one will accept your bill, not even banks. So you have to make sure that the bills that you do bring are very crisp, they're brand new, and there's not going to be that possibility of getting them rejected. The more modern your bills are, the better, because modern bills have all of these different security measures on them, so people trust those bills more. So if you can, make sure that you bring new bills, updated bills to Peru in your currency, then definitely be sure to bring those. Old bills will probably still be accepted, but people are a little more uncomfortable with those these days. When you do exchange your currency for Peruvian Nuevo Soles, do not accept old bills that are tattered, worn, written on, torn, or whatever. Don't accept those bills. Even if you do get one, okay, you can go to the bank and exchange it for a nice bill. Because if you try to pay with that broken, torn Peruvian bill anywhere here, in restaurants, maybe even in some department stores, in bars or small shops, most of the time they won't accept those bills. You kind of have to go to the bank and exchange it for a nice, crisp bill. But if someone tries to give you, even if you're exchanging your money at some casa de cambio, money exchange office or bureau, or you exchange it with a cambista, or even if you exchange your money at the bank, wherever you exchange your money from, do not let that person give you an ugly bill, because it's just going to make it more difficult for you to try to use those bills when you try to buy something wherever you may be. The same thing goes for coins. If someone tries to give you a really worn coin, then just ask them politely to give you a different one. And if they give you a worn banknote, then politely ask for a new banknote. It's not a big deal. The main thing is that you need to try to avoid really worn, messed up bills and coins, because in the event that you only have that one bill to pay with, and you're trying to use it, people don't want to accept it, and that's all you have, then you're going to find yourself in some trouble. So just try to avoid those worn coins and bills as often as possible, and just politely ask for different ones. If you don't know Spanish, or you don't know how to ask for different banknotes and coins in Spanish, then one simple way you can ask for different banknotes and bills is by saying, "¿Me podría dar otro billete? That means, can you give me another banknote? You want to ask for a different coin, and you say, me podría dar otra moneda? That's, can I have another coin, a different coin? If that person, for some reason, kind of objects and is like, oh, why? You know, ¿por qué? What's the problem? Then you just say, este está desgastado. And this just means it's really worn. So that's basically it. Maybe I need to repeat that last one again, or these things again. So the first one is, me podría dar otro billete? Me podría dar otra moneda? Este está desgastado. And that's it. It's not a big deal. Not too hard. Another thing I want you guys to look out for is when you exchange your money for large sums in Peruvian Nuevo Soles. And this can be anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand soles. And I'm saying this because you're gonna probably get back a lot of bills worth 100 and possibly even 200 soles. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're planning on using these bills for really small transactions throughout your day or stay, then those bills are gonna be much more difficult to be accepted if you're not planning on spending a lot when you use them. So of course, if you're gonna buy 80 soles worth of something and you pay with 100, then that's perfectly fine. But if you're only planning on buying something that's worth 5 or 10 soles and you're using a bill that's worth 100, then that's a bit of a problem, because especially with the bill worth 200 soles, because when you want to pay with those bills, the person's going to have to give you back a lot of change, and oftentimes you take the change that they're planning on using for the next few hours until they can get more customers to buy things from them and they can get more change. So it's best for you to try to carry smaller bills with you. I read online about the experience of this one guy who was in Iquitos in the jungle, and he paid with, I guess, a big bill, maybe a bill worth only 50 soles maybe, or 100. And when he went to pay with this bill, the waiter, I guess, told him, okay, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go get change, and went off on a bike and disappeared, and then came back half an hour later because they didn't have change available right then and there at the restaurant, so he had to go to whoever else's house or wherever he needed to go in order to come back and bring change. So that is how paying with big bills can pose a problem, especially in small towns where they don't always have change readily available. With that being said, you obviously don't want to carry around a million smaller bills either. It's about finding that balance between carrying around a certain number of large bills and smaller bills, just so that you have both options available to you. So if you're changing out money so that you get back 1,000 soles, then maybe you could have 200 soles worth in small bills and then the rest in bills worth 100, maybe a couple of bills worth 200, so you're not carrying around so much paper money. If you only have small bills to pay with, then don't worry, you can still pay with them. Especially if you're like at a bar or restaurant and you've already consumed, the food or whatever they had to offer, then they have to find you change, so don't worry about that. But it's always easier on both parts if you already just have small bills available. But if you're trying to buy something small from a little local shop or something, then it's much more difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible, because it happens to me sometimes too, where I have a 50 or a 100 and I just need something worth 5 soles, and I'm like, oh, I only have this bill, can you accept it? And a lot of the times they say yes, it's fine. But sometimes they'll be like, no, I'm sorry, I don't have change or whatever, and you can't buy stuff from them because they don't have change for you. Or maybe they're refusing to give it to you, but they're just saying that they don't have change, who knows. Because people are a bit suspicious as well, they're a bit careful with the bills that they receive. Maybe they don't want to get gypped because maybe you're trying to give them a counterfeit 100 and they're being nice enough to give you change, and then you rob them of that money. So they're also trying to be careful as well. If you need change for big bills and no one is giving you change, then good places to go have that change is at supermarkets, department stores, any major places. The little small shops, restaurants, and bars, it's a bit more difficult there, but not impossible. But it's just better to go at bigger places to get change for your bigger bills. So wherever you decide to exchange your money at, just be sure to ask for smaller bills just to cover your butt. And always check your bills. I've discussed this before on how to tell whether a bill is counterfeit or not. So just always be sure to check your bills wherever, even if it's at the bank. Just make sure that you're getting back real bills. And if you're out in an exposed area, like if you're changing with a gambista on the street, then just kind of go to a little area where you can kind of cover yourself, because you don't obviously want to exchange large sums and then hold them up in the air and then people walk by and they see that you're exchanging a lot of money and you're checking to make sure it's real, because then they can see, oh, you're carrying a lot of money on you, and someone that has really bad intentions can take advantage of that. So if you're doing something like that, just try to find like a little corner, or if you're with friends or someone, kind of have them close off the area where you're standing and just kind of cover you so that you're protected in that way. But just always try to check your bills regardless of wherever you exchange them at. And one last thing is to always check currency exchange rates before traveling. So today it's February 2nd, 2016, and at this moment $1 is worth about 3 soles, 0.41, 44, something like that. And the euro is worth, 1 euro is worth 3.5 something soles. So that's what it's at right now, but it can always go up or go down. So just always check before you actually come. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I thought it was going to be really short because I had just half a page of notes and it somehow became more than 10 minutes long. But special shout out to one of my subscribers, Sam from Slikk Productions. He sent me some tracks to use in my videos, so if you like the music that was playing throughout this video, then Sam is responsible for it. So thank you so much, Sam, for your support and for the lovely tracks that you sent me. If you want to send me more, you can. I'm more than happy to let people know that this is your work and where they can find you. So if you like this music, if you're making YouTube videos and you need good music, then you can definitely check him out. I think his website is slikkproductions.com. I'll link it in the description below, but that's where you can find him if you want more music for your videos. So once again, thank you, Sam, and thank you guys to everyone watching this video. If you've enjoyed what I had to share with you today, or you simply love my wonderful personality, then definitely be sure to give this video a thumbs up or a like. If you think that other people that you know would benefit from this video, then definitely be sure to share this video with them. I would really appreciate it if all of you guys could do me the biggest favor ever and just share the videos that you really enjoy on your Facebook walls or Twitters or whatever it may be, because it does help me out a lot for you to help others find my videos, because then I meet more people and they have more great feedback for me or comments, and it just inspires me to keep going with this project, with this channel. So if you want to follow me on other forms of social media, my social media stuff is up here, and I am getting better at Twitter now. So yay, you can follow me on Twitter, as well as Snapchat, Instagram, and all that other stuff I have up here somewhere. So thanks again so much, you guys, for everything, and I will hopefully see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.